Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this one we will be talking about The Boys season 5 episode 8. Well, basically I will cover the whole season, my views on it, and specifically we will go through this episode as well. This video will contain spoilers, so if you have not seen the finale yet, go check it out. Spoiler free review, I would say, like, and by the way, this is completely, what I thought. Some people might like it, some maybe won't like it that much. So, these are my personal views. You may disagree with it. It was a decent ending, like I had, given up my expectations and I went in like I know you guys are gonna screw this. And when I watched the episode, I was like, it's all right. It was not horrible or anything, but this should have been better. The way the show started, really had high hopes from it, but it's decent. And yeah, I guess that's the spoiler-free stuff. Now, I will cover what happens in the episode, and then I will get into what I liked, what I didn't. So yeah, let's get started. So the episode starts with the recap of whatever has happened from the previous seasons when Homelander burned the plane, like cut it in half, or when he met Butcher and they had the Scott Earth conversation, and those epic moments we see, and then we get the recap of what happened in the last episode, and then it starts with the Frenchie's funeral. So all right, let's start with. Oh, I mean, Frenchie was like the core member of the group. And like, come on, he's such a lovable guy, And they are making butt jokes at his funeral. Like, I have seen so many of, I mean, I have seen every one of your assholes. Like, I have seen, more emotional stuff on Reels about Frenchie dying than this show. Like the only moment where I felt like, damn, all right, they are getting serious about this is when like Kimiko was, crying when Frenchie died, and she held her in her arms, like, and there was like no background sound, just like Kimiko sobbing, like that moment really hit. And after that, they're like, all right, yeah, let's just have some fun with it. Like, come on, you can give funerals some respect or something, but I don't know. Maybe some would like it. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but sure. That happens. Then we move on to, Ryan living somewhere in a cabin, and Homelander finds him basically through the crime analytics team, and he's like, come on, join me. We don't care about Soldier Boy anymore. We are father and son. It will all be, sunshine and rainbows. But uh, Ran basically hits the nerve. He says, like, you were already the most powerful soup out there, and you're still miserable. So, what makes you think having more power is gonna do for you, So, he hits a nerve, but Humi controls himself there and says, you just don't understand this stuff. And he says, the offer still stands. You can come if you want to, and leave. So, it's nice that he didn't, go for that kill right then and there because he's so stupid. Even in the end, he says that I could have killed you so many times. Yeah, we'll get there. So that happens. Then we see the boys meeting Murray and gang. So again, and they are like, well, pack up your bags and leave because you won't be any help here. Go to Canada, save the citizens. Like, what was the point of bringing them in? Like, were they just supposed to be, for transporting the, Homelander guys? What? Why? Why introduce someone who, you're not even gonna utilize? Like, the whole point of JNV was to, set up Murray as one of the other soups who can match Homelander. If you really, think about it, the whole point of Gen V season 1 and The Boys season 4, it meant nothing. Like they had this, all right, we are going to make a virus in season 4. Then in Gen V, we are shown that they started making this virus in a college. So the virus has been being set up for 2 seasons, and you don't utilize it either. Like, then what was the point of those 2 seasons if you're not going to use the virus nor the characters from Gen V? I guess they might have had planned for a Gen V season 3, but since that got cancelled, they pivoted towards Water Rising and the whole fuck up they did with the you know middle episodes of this season. So yeah, that happened. So Marie leaves. They had a lot, like inspirational talk that, oh, you should never meet your heroes. Well, my hero was quite good, so yeah, nothing crazy happens. Then we see Oh Father and Ashley having a moment, and well, I don't know if we should call it a moment, but uh, she basically gifts him a titanium gag, I think. I don't know what it's called, but yeah. And basically, it's being set up that that's how he's going to die. And as we see later on as well. And they both are like in a backstabbing kind of relationship where neither person trusts each other, and she's trying to check the waters that if father would turn against Homelander or not, and he's checking her like if she's actually a believer or not. So yeah, not a healthy place to be in. Then we see Sage getting done by Kimiko. Well, she fried her bee. So in the previous episode we weren't sure that the Soldier Boy blast thing would work. They hadn't tested it, but in this one we saw that you know they first test it on Sage, and she becomes dumb. All right, crazy. Another hero who was another soup who was introduced in season 4, who was like like she will set up Homelander as the president or whatever. Doesn't do that. Then she was like she'll spread the virus. Doesn't happen. So they just set up these characters without any payoff. They're like, well, we'll manage that in the spin-off or something. So yeah, that happens. Then we see that the boys are planning to attack the White House because Homelander is going to be announcing his godhood on Easter, and he will announce it from the White House live. So they in and here comes the season 4 ending where they were protecting Bob Singer, and there was this whole shapeshifter thing as well. So they knew the tunnels and everything. So yeah, well, here they maintain the consistency, continuity, whatever. So yeah, we see that happening. That they plan. Sage says that, hey guys, I'm going to Harry Potter World. I'm not doing anything stupid like you guys. So you do you. I'm leaving. So Sage just leaves, and we don't see her again. Well, that happens. Then we see that we get another Elon Musk parody. Like, see, I mean, I love getting these parodies and whatever, making fun of people, sure. But like, this was like, I don't know, 10th time. Like, they have name dropped him. They've done like how many, God knows how many jokes. And this one was like, well, he's the richest guy who's like into astronomy and whatnot. Like, he likes space. Like, I mean, at this point, just make it about politicians and whatnot. Like, yeah, it's the whole point of this show is to be like satire and point out the things that's happening. But like, you guys are the same thing. Like, they mocked MCU and DCU for having universes and having the whole slate thing, or the like basically everything about these superheroes, and now they are doing the same thing. You live long enough to see yourself become a villain type of thing happened here. And I mean, that's just not really what you want to see, but sure, that happens. And by the way, Homelander goes to space in like a second and he's back. And during the final fight, he can't escape the tentacles. Like, what? All right, dude, sure. Uh, yeah, then we see that Homelander gives Deep a reality check. Like, he says that, dude, I don't care about you. Again, like we see in the Daredevil first season of Born Again, where the Punisher says to the ABTF members that I won't piss on you if you were on fire. So that same kind of scene happens here as well, and he he starts crying, but he's still delusional. Like this is all a test. He's just trying to test my devotion. Like dude, I guess he has nothing else left because the sea has discarded him, and without the sun, he's nothing. And it is kind of a stupid power if you can't even go into the sea. So yeah, that happens. Then we see the Homelander, he's starting the live announcement, and at the same time, the boys are breaking into the White House. And by the way, why are there no soups to guard like the White House? Like the boys will come for Homelander. Like, why do you not have any heavy hitters there? Like, what? I mean, the even the posters. Like, if you guys would have seen the posters that they launched, there was like one where the Earth is burning and the Homelander is somewhere in space. Then the comic panel as well, that Butcher going in with the crowbar, and there's like a plethora of soups there with Homelander. Like, just misleading posters, man. Like, why are you guys doing this? Like, give us something, They're like, well, you get a dog whistle, which will hurt the soups. So, enjoy. And like, all right, sure. So, yeah, that happens. Then we see that Ashley suddenly grows a spine. Well, not really suddenly. It has been being set up for like even like previous season, season 4 finale, where she was kind of willing to go away with A-Train, but she was on the fence and decided to stay. And this time she was like, you know what? If I won't do anything now, we might as well be fucked. So yeah, she helps the boys get out of that weird thing where they were stuck. Then we see Starlight dealing with Deep, and well, and Huey decides to take on O-Father, and Butcher and Kimiko goes for Homelander. So yeah, O-Father dies like Black Bolt, which I find quite stupid. Like even the Black Bolt's death, this guy has never even like how does one die if that's just crazy stuff. I don't even know what I'm talking about. He just dies because they fit in the titanium gag in his mouth, and yeah, his head blows up. And you see, the thing is, just you know, gory stuff won't get you through because at first it's like, okay, damn, they did that. That's crazy. But as the seasons progress, you kind of get desensitized to it. Like, well, all right, yeah, that happened. You have to, keep up your game, like change something, bring in something new. Well, not even if new, just I guess the Huey getting the blood on his face thing never gets old. So yeah, they did that again. And then we see that Homelander is 3v1, kind of in a 3v1 situation where Kimiko and Butcher are trying to hold him down. By the way, in the like first or second episode, we saw Homelander, cut Kimiko into two by just his, using his lasers. And in this episode, his lasers do nothing to her. She like just, well, oof, oh, he hit me. Well, let's carry on. And in the second episode, when they were trying to break out, Huey and and Frenchie, her legs were chopped off. So well, yeah, bye bye to continuity. So yeah, that happens, and then as soon as Homelander realizes that she can actually vaporize he tries to escape, but Ryan comes in, and yeah, they hold him down. And then we switch over to Deep. So yeah, Deep got like a full circle ending for him. Although I would still say he survived for far too long. He should have been done in season 4, even in season 3, I would say. But sure, he died. So see, I feel like the things that made the finale decent is that they didn't do anything stupid like killing Homelander by Kimiko or something. They paid off the setup. There was Butcher and Homelander. There was Starlight and Deep. So, and even, Huey and Butcher. So these things, at least, they had a payoff. So yeah, these things kind of saved the finale, but there was still, quite a lot of things that went wrong. Then yeah, we see that we get fried out of Homelander, and we get, the first time Homelander really looking like a normal human being who's afraid of his life. And the stuff he says, like, and on live television, I'll give you what? I'll make you, I'll provide you a shapeshifter who looks like Becca. I'll suck your cock. Dude, what? And, he says that you owe it to me because I let you live for, so long. I could have killed you so many times. I mean, dude, you should have done it. But yeah, Homelander dies quite in a comic accurate way, I would say. His, head was opened with this crowbar, with a crowbar. By the way, why would you bring a crowbar to the fight? Like, is that crowbar made of some super, steel or something? Because as far as I know, crowbar won't, hurt Homelander, at least not when he's beat up. So yeah, well, that happens. Then we see Deep get eaten by the sharks or whatever, and yeah, that's the like end of Homelander. And then we see that Ashley making the statement that I was working with the boys, it was all me, I won't resign. And just the next moment they're like, well, she was forced out unanimously. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Then we see that the boys get a happily ever after, except Butcher, because Ryan leaves him saying that you are a bad influence on me, and Terror dying as well, which was quite sad. Why you got to kill dogs, man? Just let them live. Horrible people, actually. So yeah, Terror dies as well, and that pushes Butcher over the edge. He's like, you know what? I'm going to use that virus, and uh, Huey notices that Butcher is leaving and he tries to stop him. They had this whole conversation. Butcher beat him as well. And just when Butcher started to, like be like, you know what, maybe I should not do this, Huey pulls the trigger. I mean, kind of sad, but that's better. At least they, finished Butcher's story arc. Like, I don't think he had anything more for him going on. His whole thing was killing Homelander, getting revenge for Becca. And once that was done, what would he do? The boys will disband. You don't have anything like that. And other than, wiping the soups off the earth, he didn't really have anything else going on for him. So kind of makes sense for him to die. But yeah, it was still a little sad to see him go. Really love these characters. Carl Urban did great, and Anthony Starr, even Jack Quaid, all these guys, great actors, great performances. So yeah, then we see that Edgar is back on top, which I guess is maybe the setup of Boys Mexico or something. And yeah, we get another funeral where they make more jokes like, dude, take it seriously, you just killed that guy. So yeah, whatever. Uh, Kimiko moves to Marcel, where they like talked about adopted a dog, and Huey and Frenchie got what? What am I saying? Huey and Starlight got married, and MM got back with his family. Ran is with MM now, so yeah, everyone got there happily ever after. And yeah, that's all that happens in this episode. Now getting into my complaints about this season actually, and I let me just say this right now that I was very much on the edge about, like, do I say this is decent finale or do I say just, skip this? But like I said, they had a good start, they fucked up the middle, and they somewhat landed the ending. So it's it's okay-ish. I would say, what, if you want to see something like anti-establishment kind of thing, I recently watched V for Vendetta. It was really great movie. You should definitely check it out. And if you don't know much about it, just check about Guy Fawkes a little, and then go into it. It would change a little bit of your understanding about the story. But yeah, other than that, let's get into more stuff. So Homelander barely kills this season. He kills like two guys or maybe three. Like the popcorn guy when he was trying to get to the legend, that one, and he kills A-Train and he kills Firecracker. I guess that's all the people he kills. I won't count in Frenchie because Frenchie turned on the, uranium generator, radiator, whatever it was. So he was dead right then. So yeah, Homelander doesn't do anything this season. Soldier Boy's plot, it's literally why it was even there other than, for promoting Water Rising. He comes in, he, has like 2 or 3 episodes with, supernatural and that kind of thing. And then he's like, well, here's your V1. Now put me back into my sleep, dude. And you know what? I feel like when they release the What Rising, they would do like past and present kind of thing. Like we'll go through the story of how Soldier Boy became what he became, and now what he's doing. I feel like that's what they're going for. They should have given Soldier Boy a closure, But well, I guess I expected too much. Then, as I said earlier, Murray was also kind of pointless, and well, there was not any nudity, I guess. Yeah, and they were, quite hush hush on that in this season. So, yeah, well, that happened. Then, yeah, I guess that's all there is to it. The soups are still alive, so so that they can keep on creating this stuff more of shows and movies and whatnot. And they still got that compound V, like as Butcher said, there are like a ton of people who would be the next Homelander. There is no scarcity of assholes out there, and yeah, yeah. Let's see. It was all right, I guess. Check it out. It, all in all, boys, is a good show. It kind of goes downhill from after season 3, but it's still all right. It's not horrible. It's not as bad as Game of Thrones. You know, even Stranger Things was all right. So yeah, it does not live up to its potential. Does not create a crazy legacy for itself. Like I see the stuff from the earlier seasons, like head popping up by uh, that what was her name? I'm horrible with names, but the vice president who was, so yeah, that scene or the Homelander going through the aeroplane, like those were really great moments and really great seasons as well. So yeah, uh, you can check it out if you are into it, and yeah, that's it for this one, I guess. My next one probably would be on Widow's Bay episode 5. If you are not watching it, do check it out. And yeah, that's it for this one, I guess. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.